So it's officially 11:01, and I'm gonna get to the movement section because I like this shit way better than I like talking about nutrition. Julie is here, and I know she has to go to work, so I want to answer this question. She said, my right arm is quite a bit weaker than my left. I may disagree with your assumption about your body. I struggle with 15 pounds in overhead presses. I feel like I collapse on the right side when I do push-ups, and I would love to identify the issue. All right, so why is breathing so important, like in my mind? Everything is about pressure, right? And I didn't learn this until I had 2 kids and pushed them out of my vagina, that your body gets compressed when you strength train, right? So you bench a ton, you row a ton. Like I've been strength training since I was like 14, right? And I did competitions and yoga and like all the things, but I had compressed a lot of areas like my chest, my upper back, the backside of my rib cage. So like all my pressure was pushing out my belly after my belly got stretched out, right? So I had a tight pelvic floor, which was the bottom of my canister. And then I was tight up here. So like the only place that the air had to go was out my belly. So like after I had kids, it still kind of looked like I was pregnant because I couldn't manage the pressure in the front, right? I see Meredith on here, Kelly, like a lot of us have had multiple kids and your body just feels like different, right? And then there's like, my ass was super tight. So it was like, really, there was no place for it to go. So it was like my back killed and I couldn't feel my abs at all. So I went down the rabbit hole of breathing and dove down into these things. And basically like, even Julie hasn't had kids. You'll notice if she's going to be like, comes on the screen. If you look at me, you'll see on Julie, like my neck, my clavicle, it's not as bad now, but when I get like all worked up, you'll see like I basically breathe through my neck. I use accessory breathing muscles, so I'll feel like my neck and my shoulders. This is what Julie does. And she got like a frozen shoulder. She doesn't have the range of motion necessary to be able to complete the tasks that she wants to do, right? So if her body can't get air into her right chest wall or her right shoulder blade, and those muscles can't lengthen and contract, they're not going to be able to get stronger. Does that kind of make sense? Right? It's more down the rabbit hole of things. So instead of saying like, oh, your arm is weak, it's like her rib cage doesn't move. Okay. So I'm going to show you some of the breathing stuff. Julie, I was just saying about how like, you know, when I see you in your neck and your chest, you're super kind of compressed up here. And it doesn't mean that like necessarily you're going to get to the root cause of the issue if you're just thinking about weakness versus strength. Okay. So what I want to do is I want you guys to feel this in your body and do it. We can do it together. Right. So what you're going to do is you can grab like a yoga block or a foam roller, and we're going to do like a half kneeling position up against the wall. Justine, thank you so much for coming. You do not need to stay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Have fun, you all. Bye.
She's my support mate. Gail, you better get up because you're going to do this with me. So
I wasn't prepared.
Oh, you're going to be. So you're going to grab onto either like a block or a foam roller, and we're going to get near the wall. So if I have my right knee down on the ground, I'm going to think about, what does she want? Okay. I'm just going to make sure everybody can see. Left knee down, right knee is pressing into the roller. I'm going to rotate my torso towards the right, and I'm going to exhale. And then I'm going to inhale. And then I'm going to exhale, and then I'm going to inhale. So your rib cage and the backside of your rib cage is going to have an influence on how well you feel your glutes, right? So right knee is pressing into the roller. That's adduction, inner thighs. I'm also dragging on my heel, right? So my right rib cage is going to rotate towards the right as I reach. This is going to be my exhale. This is going to be my inhale. And I'm trying to get as much rotation through the back side of my rib cage as I can. Okay? I'm going to watch you guys too as I do it. Perfect. Good. Kelly, think about dragging on your right heel a little bit more and make sure your heel is behind your knee. Yep. Good.
Sorry, I missed it.
Good. Julie, get as much rotation as you possibly can. Don't worry, I'll do it again. I want you to do like 6 of them. So I have a leg 4 forward, my right one that's pushing in here, and then I'm rotating. This is my reach, dragging on this heel. I'm going to rotate my torso as much as I can in each direction.
That doesn't make sense.
Yep, good. So take that yoga block and turn it so that it's longer, and then press your knee into it. And your arms are just moving out in front of you like you're a fucking karate kid. Yep, perfect. Looks good. Good, good. Rotate even more, Andrea. Good, even more, Christine. Good, good. Do you feel the back side of your right shoulder blade, Julie? How it's tight? Good. So we're trying to get that movement back there. Does anybody feel their ass or their inner thigh as well? Yes, good. So mobility is a fucking joke. Mobility is your ability to get air into places in your body that you haven't gotten, okay? Most women here are gonna be a narrow rib cage angle, which means they're gonna be compressed as fuck up top and they're gonna push all their pressure down, which is why a lot of women get prolapse, right? I don't want your vagina falling out of your body when you get older, okay? So this is why we do this. Rotate, rotate. Cindy, rotate even more. I'm gonna do the other side now. Rotation is abdominals when you're breathing too, okay? Rotation is glutes at the pelvis. Rotate, rotate. Nobody likes SpongeBob SquarePants. So I'm rotating as much as I can. This is my exhale. This left rib is dropped down to my left pelvis. Okay? Perfect. Nice. Love it. Good. Maybe there's a difference. Maybe you don't feel your left glute as much. This is all awareness. Just like nutrition is, I just take the body awareness to the next level. Sometimes to a fault. Now, we're still addressing Julie's question, if you're wondering. We're going to come into a side lying position. Now, ass and abs is completely based off of this principle, right? Most women that I see have a lack of internal hip rotation, so they end up using their lower back for that reason, okay? If I lie on my left side, I might put my head on something, and this is my sideline breathing position. So I'm at this 90-degree angle, and my pelvis is underneath me so that I cannot arch my back. All right. So for those of you who have that like ass out posture and you don't have any like hamstrings, I'm going to give you back hamstrings and I'm going to give you a really good exhale so that you can get your abs and position your pelvis properly. So like with Julie, her first issue is that she's dumped forward a lot. She has that big ass out position. So if I was in a deep squat position, Alex, I'd want you to just think about dropping sideways so your feet are on the wall and like you're more perpendicular to the wall. So say I'm here. I got my feet on the wall. I'm going to think about reaching my right knee forward. Okay. All I did was just shift my right knee forward. My feet are on the wall, big toe, pinky toe, heel, and my knee is shifted forward. So Alex, take your torso and bring it up so you're more in like a squat position, not with your butt towards the wall. So bring your torso forward. Yeah. Yep, more. So like your torso is above your body. Yeah, buddy. Good. Perfect. So it's like I'm in a squat, but someone knocked me over. Can you feel when you shift your right side of your pelvis forward? That's what's called a hip shift. A lot of people are just so tight through their ass that they can't even do that. Now, from this position, can you reach your right knee up? Now, make sure your big toe is still on the wall with your right knee shifted forward. Okay? This will get you your right glute max. A lot of us don't have a right glute max. We need to get off of our right side to get onto our left side. If I take my hand like this and I'm pushing my knee up into my hand, as I reach my knee forward, my feet are dragging on the wall. Do you feel your right butt?
Yes.
You should. Now, take your right hand, Julie, and reach it down like this. Reach it down towards the wall. Yep, perfect. Now, right now, you're in a position, which is how we're going to influence where air is going, that you can breathe into your right chest wall. So you're reaching down towards the wall with your right hand. You're holding your right knee up as you reach your right knee forward. Your right ass should be on fire, and you should be able to breathe into the top of that right chest. Good. Now, Cindy, think about this. If there was a toy car running underneath the side of your body, you need to get those abs on the left. Reach that right arm down, inhale, and then exhale. Shh. Left abs on, right chest wall expanding, right ass on fire. Sarah's like, So if
My
you're
left ass is on fire.
You're okay. So Sarah Green, take your torso and lean it towards the wall. You're doing the same thing that Alex was doing. You need your feet on a wall and you need to be in like a deep squat position. So like right now, this is what you guys are doing. You're kind of putting your whole back against the wall. That's like for a side plank. You want to be like this, where like my feet are on the wall, like I was standing on the wall. Good. So what you're going to do, Sarah, is take your whole torso forward towards me.
Wow.
More. Like face that door instead. Yep, exactly. Good. Alex, bring your boobs like closer to your knees. Now, could you guys kind of feel what I was talking about? Like for Julie, how like, if I have, like floor is offering compression, I'm literally putting myself in a position where these muscles can actually lengthen. Because I guarantee Julie can't bring her arms overhead, and Julie's shoulder blades wing a lot when she goes to take her hand behind her back, because those muscles on the back side and on the front side of her right side are all compressed. If I can get air to go there, I'm going to have more abs and you're going to have more ability to strengthen those muscles. Does that kind of make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is why you could do a one-on-one call with me. We can talk through your own individual stuff, but basically I do like a generic version of this stuff so you can get the right muscles turned on. We're gonna do one more. This is a lot easier. Rock back. So it was in Jumpstart. It's gonna be in month 1 as like a cool down. Rock back breathing, but I'm gonna get her to expand through her right side as well, okay? Now, if you have a yoga block, or an Airx pad, you can get your knees on it. It doesn't need to be super complicated. Any sort of inversion, I want you to think about your core as a canister. If I go like this, guess what? I'm gonna be expanding here because now all the air is falling down, right? So if I go like this and I take my knees on something that's elevated, I'm literally gonna take my forearms down here, both my palms turn up, which is going to allow the shoulder blades to move on the back of my rib cage. So I could be like this. That would be my butt out. That is not what we want to do, right? I want to think about, so like yoga is great, but it doesn't pay attention enough to the rib cage and the pelvis. So I want you to think about this. Tuck your pelvis under, bring your rib cage back, and then take your forearms down. Okay? Yep. Turn your palms up. Good. Cindy, turn your palms up and bring your elbows in a little bit more and then tuck your pelvis under. Perfect. From this position, take an inhale with your chin lifted. And then I want you to exhale, empty from the bottom. Allow all the air to come out like you're going to suffocate. You're going to pause at the end of that exhale. And then you're going to inhale again. Julie, take your right hand at a diagonal with the palm down and reach out to the right. Good. You guys can play around with this too if you want. If I'm here and I have both palms here, I can go here to here. I'm going to get left side, back side of my body, right side, chest wall opening. And if you close your eyes, you can feel it. I'm pushing through my left elbow, chin is lifted, expanding through my tight back, and then exhale, empty from the bottom. Same thing if you want to just stay in that doing both arms at the same time. But you can definitely bias where air is going based on your position. Good. So same with you, Heather. Just tuck your pelvis under a little teeny bit. Good, but still reach back. Bring your elbows back a little bit more. Yep. Alex, looks good. Lift your chin just a little bit. Good. Do you guys feel your abs a little bit? Do you feel like how we're getting a little opening through that upper back? Good. Kelly, imagine bringing your rib cage back as you engage those abs. Good. Cindy, bring your elbows back a little bit. I want you guys to do like 2 more breaths in that position. Good. Yep. Now, instead of forcing your ass back with your ass out, just tuck it under a little bit. So, Julie, do you think that's helpful, those 2 exercises?
I do. Yeah.
I'm going to move along, but I'm going to help you again. If you lie on your back, we're going to do some co-contractions. These are the best things ever, but you are going to put your feet on the wall. Okay. Now, everybody always stands with their legs hyperextended, right? Especially like hypermobile postpartum women, you're just like hanging out on your joints. If you hang out here and you're dragging your heels down the wall like this, my heels are on the wall, my knees are bent to 120 degrees. If I go like this and push my elbows down into the ground, I can be Julie and think about getting my chest wall open. Okay, so I can inhale, exhale, drag down on my heels, and then just pull down so I feel my hamstrings on. Okay, all I want you to do, imaginarily dragging your heels down the wall and then driving your elbows into the ground. I'm not clenching on my butt cheeks. I'm literally just going to think about bridging my butt up by dragging my heels down the wall. Bridge my butt up off the ground as I pull my heels down the wall. Exactly. Yep. Good. Gail, you could go longer. You're like at 90 degrees. Think like 120. So it's like a longer lever. Yep, exactly. Pull yourself up, lower yourself down. Pull yourself up, lower yourself down. So in month 1, this is exactly where we're going to start. Dragging down and coming back up. Good. So allow your toes to relax, Heather, and back yourself up just a little bit if you can. Good. Sarah Green, you effing better use your hamstrings, not clench your butt. And good. Don't clench your butt cheeks. If you cannot find your heels, you're going to be living on your toes. This is this like connection to like where our posture is, right? If I just like held in this position and then pulled my left knee into my chest, keep pulling on the heel. Keep pulling on the heel really hard. Now I want you to think about this. Inhale onto the ball of your right foot. Yep, perfect. And then exhale, lower down onto the heel. Inhale onto the ball of the foot. Exhale onto the heel. Inhale onto the ball of the foot. Exhale, pull down onto the heel. So this is like the most basic co-contraction, but there's so many different variations. Like you might see like these cool exercises that I do on Instagram. You don't have the right to rush to the cool shit. You need to nail it down first, right? You can nail that down and then you can go do the fun stuff. Because without the foundation, it all doesn't make much sense, right? Now, Cindy, I want you to think about this. If you take an inhale, come back down, go take a big inhale. I want you to exhale, empty from the bottom so your rib cage actually comes down into a position because you're so dumped forward that your rib cage is flaring, right? Ass and abs might be really great place for you to start, just like 6 minutes a day, trying to connect that rib cage and the pelvis. Because if I start where I'm already so dumped forward, it's just going to be into my back. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to really get that foundation down of like, where's my inhale going? Can I feel my abs empty from the bottom? Like Sarah right now, you're bridged up too high and you're still in your back. Lower yourself down again. Scoot yourself closer to the wall a little bit. Okay. Find your pelvic position first with an exhale. I would always recommend take a good inhale, take a good exhale before you go and do that, right? So that your pelvis isn't doing the work, your low back isn't doing the work. It's actually your hamstrings and your abdominals. Does that kind of make sense? Well, guess what? We're going to do it in another position and then you're really going to feel it. So flip yourself over. We're going to go into a bear position. Okay. We did bear and jump start, right? We did bear and ass and abs. And guess what? Bear variations aren't going anywhere ever. So now what you're going to do is a longer lever bear. So you're going to keep your heels on the wall, but then you're going to bring your shoulders forward over wrists. Keep that pelvis under and your heels on the wall. And then you're gonna lift your knees up. Look how bent my knees are. Push the ground away, lift your chin, and give me 6 breaths. Knees are bent, heels are pressing into the wall. My ass does not look like this, and it doesn't look like this. It's literally right here. Pushing the ground away, lifting the chin, inhaling into your back. Exhale, empty from the bottom. Get all the air out. Inhale again, behind the brace. Lift the chin. Exhale, empty from the bottom. Push the ground away. Longest 6 breaths of your life. Good. Alex, bring your wrist back and tuck your pelvis more. Just a little bit. Now lift your chin. Good. Push through your hands, index finger and thumb really hard. Good. Gail, make sure those wrists are underneath your shoulders. Good. Cindy, you feel your abs? This is a better position for you. It's way easier for you to get in a good position. Did anybody not feel their abs there?
Well, I felt it.
Oh, I felt it. Okay.
I felt it.
Sarah, did you feel it? Good. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Now, we got a lateral lunge. This is a really important one because everybody Fucks these up. Now, if I was to do a lateral lunge, I'm just literally going to spread my legs. I'm really good at that. I'm going to be like this, right? And then I'm going to shift over my right side. All right. If I have shitty ankle mobility, it's going to look awful, right? So if everything's connected from my heel, my knee, my hip, right? I want you to just imagine you're over your right side. Now, nose, sternum, knee, big toe are in a line. I'm not pushing my knee out. I'm going to kind of pull my knee in towards the midline. Perfect. Now maybe I take my left hand and I push it in towards my right knee. So then my knee pushes in towards my hand and I just hang out here for a second. And I'm going to watch you guys. Keep hanging out there and breathing there. I love this. Christine, spread your legs more. Good. Cindy, bring your right leg underneath you more. Good. Press into your left hand. Yep. Perfect. Now, does anybody not feel their butt? Leah, your legs are too far apart. Same with you. Alex, get your legs a little bit closer in. I want you to be able to do this. Literally, you're over this leg, so you can do this. Magic. I can lift my leg because I'm so over my right side. Yeah, better, right? So it's like this magical middle. You're not so long, but you're not so short either, okay? A lot of people can't get over their right side, can't get over their left side. This is where the hip shifting and all that stuff comes in, okay? Try the left side, go over the left. If you sprained or broke your ankle, you have pelvic floor issues, it's probably not going to feel exactly the same. So get over the left. Take your right hand, press into your knee. Good, Cindy, this side's better. Push your hand into your knee. So my right hand is pressing in to my left knee. My left knee is pushing in to my right hand. Now, lift your leg. Can you do that? Woo! Does anybody feel their butt a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good. Now, who felt different from left to right?
I did.
Everybody. Okay. Which side was harder?
Right was harder for me.
Right.
Okay. So some people can't
Left.
get off of their left,
Right.
get off of the right. So you'll notice I do a shit ton of stuff with the feet, right? You need to be able to push yourself from your right side to your left side. Okay. Your feet are so important, but also the muscles of your adductors, they need to get stronger because the backside's so tight, right? It's not just like, oh, do the exercise. It's like, do the exercise well so that your body can like do it right and connect to the right muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just go through these exercises, but if I'm not actually like listening to the cues and thinking about it in my body, you're going to end up in the same place or you're going to end up hurt. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why, and then you'll get better results when you do it well and you're not going to be in pain. Okay. Now we're going to do what's called a drop squat landing. So people might do jump squats, things like that. I just want to make sure that you can decelerate down into the ground. You can use a chair, you can use a bench. We're going to go right here. I'm going to inhale, arms overhead. Do you see how my ribcage stays stacked? I don't do this. So I'm gonna come onto my tiptoes, reach up, and then I'm gonna exhale, drop down into a squat like this. And actually, it's not really a squat, it's more like a hinge, okay? So inhale and drop. Inhale, tiptoes, exhale, drop, okay? Good. I always say, like, you use it or you lose it. So like when people get nervous that they can't jump because they've had kids or, oh, this hurts, you just want to nail the foundation down so you can do more hard things. So Leah, let's do this. Go where you have your couch to like sit down onto it, because you're going super low and you don't actually have to. Good. Cindy, let me see you from the side. Good. Gail, go sit down onto that ottoman. Yeah, good. I want you to feel like you can get your heels heavy when you do it. Perfect. I'm watching. Good. Yep. Inhale up, exhale down. Now I can see you, Alex. Nice. Good. Christine, when you go up, keep your knees bent. Good. Now drop your arms by your side, Alex, as you go down. Like you were going to do a med ball slam. Yep. Perfect. So a lot of you guys, your biggest thing is going to be that co-contraction. Can I go onto my tiptoes with my knees bent and maintain the stack of my pelvis? Because a lot of you guys are like this and you're just loading your erectors. Okay. So onto the tippy toes, knees are bent. Inhale up, exhale down. All right. And that's basically going to end up being like your deadlift start position. Good. As long as you can get those ribs back and down. So those exercises take you through the warm up. You're going to just practice those. They're going to be super easy the more you practice them. Okay. We're going to go right, like kind of quickly through some of the most commonly like questioned exercises. We're going to do a split squat at the wall. Do you have a foam roller or a chair nearby? Grab it, because these are a little bit weird. And actually it was really funny because 3 years ago, I started training like this and I fucking sucked at it. It was so hard. I looked like shit. Like I just didn't have the ability to move through my hips or my feet. And I can just remember like, how am I going to get better at this? Why is this so hard? Blah, blah, blah. Now it's like really easy and I can do it with a ton of weight, but it was funny because it came up and I was like, oh yeah, 3 years, gotten a lot better. So you want to have the roller be a little bit high so that you can hold onto it, or like a chair. Okay. So if I'm here, I have a wall behind me. I'm going to take my left foot forward and my right leg back. Now, if I lower myself down, I want to maintain the position of my pelvis as I pull myself down. I'm going to do it away from the wall for a second so you can see. But if I go here, see how I can go straight down and it's fine? A lot of people, their pelvis is wicked far forward, so they're not going to be able to go down as far, and that's totally fine. We're just going to progressively get you there. So maybe you have your roller. If I have my right foot on the back wall, I'm going to rotate my pelvis towards the left. This is what all unilateral exercises are going to do, and this is what most trainers are missing out on, okay? You need to rotate towards the left, take your left heel to pull you down to the bottom. And then you're going to drag yourself up. So my back foot is literally just pushing into the wall behind me. It's not up on anything. My toes are tucked under. Yep. Rotate your right hip towards your left knee. Kelly, walk your right foot way further forward. Cindy, bring your left leg back.
Can't set up the camera right.
You're fine. You're good. Heather, walk your left leg forward and stop locking it out. Yes. Now, hold on to your pelvis in the front and in the back like this, like one hand on your bed, one hand on your butt. You want to keep this line as you go down. That's going to open up the back side and allow you to keep your pelvis level. Good. Inhale down, exhale up. I want you to give me 10. Julie, shorten your stance a little bit. Yes, nice, Gail. Inhale down, exhale up. Kelly, so much better. Watch that pelvis, get it underneath you. Good, Christine, nice. Now, You may feel your back leg, but eventually it's going to be more in the front leg. Does that make sense? Alex, what do you feel?
My right hamstring.
Your right hamstring, not your left?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to think about this. Really get that pelvis so that it's not doing this, because you definitely have that. Now think about your left heel pulling back on the ground. Get on your left leg, like pull the left heel backwards, like you're scuffing up the floor. And now pull yourself down. Yeah, now allow your knee to go forward of your toes with your heel heavy. All right, do not be scared of that. Good. What about you, Sarah? How you doing?
Is the weight supposed to be in the front
Front
foot?
leg, yes.
Front leg. Okay.
Now, use the back wall to push yourself to the front leg. Rotate over the front leg. Drag heavy on the heel. You're not going to get all this right away, but trust me, you will eventually. Cindy, take your right foot and bring it back just a teeny tiny bit and imagine pulling back on your heel as you rotate over to the right. Again, notice the difference between your two sides. Rotate your left pelvis towards the right if your right leg is forward. Good. Heel heavy. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. If there's one thing I want you to take out of this next week, stop locking out your knees. Anytime that you notice yourself just locking your knees out, I see everybody doing it. If you do this all the time, that's not going to be good, right? Try to just keep a little bit of a bend to your knees, like during the day when you're standing. Christine, do you have a question?
I do. So I know I've talked to you about this before, but I still feel it really heavily in my quads.
Yeah. So
Not standing leg, but the one against the
exactly.
wall.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of people who present similarly to you who are going to say exactly the same thing, like Kelly, Andrea, Cindy. So think of it this way. The more that you do the breathing where you're pulling the pelvis kind of underneath you with the hamstrings and the heel heavy and the exhale, that should get you into a better position, but you might need to do more foam rolling really close to your kneecap. Not like that's going to solve all your problems, but like it could even be your foot as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can pull on that heel as you go down? Alex, turn your left boob towards me way more. Now lower yourself down. Good, because you got to get over your right side more.
My heel keeps coming off the wall. What does that
That's
mean?
fine. That's totally fine. As long as you're allowed, that's totally fine.
Okay.
You'll see, we'll do regular lunges. So what I want to say to you is like the split squat is a nice, like, oh, it's basically going to show you, Gail, you're doing fucking great. You're gonna see that your pelvis, a lot of you guys just does this, right? That's why you need hamstrings and that's why you need abs. That's you, Julie, too. Like, it's like the most majority of you, right? I'm not that person because like I have like the flat ass and the flat back, you know, but this is why ass and abs is so great for you guys, because it's going to enable you to get that stacked position. You need hamstrings, you need that knee bend, and you need that good exhale. Now, another exercise in the program, which is on day A, is just a suitcase reverse lunge. So you'd have a weight in your hand and you're going to step back with the opposite leg. Okay. I think these are way easier than doing them at the wall, right? So this is on day A. If I have a weight in my right hand, I'm literally just going to step back and then come forward and step back and come forward. But look at my knee. Do you notice how I'm allowing my knee to go forward with my heel heavy as I do this? That is not a bad thing, okay? And it doesn't mean that you necessarily need like ankle mobility. It means that you need access to pronation, which is the unfuck your foot thing that I was talking about. So, Leah, put it in the left hand. Yep, and then step back and step forward. Sarah, grab a heavier weight and turn sideways. Good. Cindy, step back with your right leg. Yep, perfect. Good. So think short, Cindy. I want you to think of this. If you were to get down and up off the ground, keep your lunges shorter, okay? Keep your pelvis underneath you. If I go like this is what you're doing. This is like exalted warrior in yoga. I want you to go straight down and straight up. I want you to pull on that right heel so you get that right hamstring and the right glute. Yep. Good. Heel heavy, knee comes forward. Good. Kelly, that looks great. Perfect. The other thing is this, if you want to take that foam roller and you want to push your fucking hand into the foam roller as you're stepping back, that's going to keep your ribs down. But like that, Cindy, that looked so much better. But if you hold on to that and go like this and push it down, that's going to get your abs on. These look great. There's a reason why I started with the split squats at the wall, because they're way fucking harder. Up here comes my entire fucking family invading my space again. Sarah, stop locking your knees out. Alex needs to get her goddamn heater in her garage. You want to know the one that I have? Here, you could take a picture.
I have one.
Oh, I just.
She's cranking.
Oh no, I just saw the glove in your hand, and I was like, I love this one.
Dumbbells are cold.
Oh, yeah, diesel. I just had someone put it in. It's really awesome. It like gets.
Oh.
I can text you what it is.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, do you see how this is like easier? A little bit, maybe. Does anybody have any questions about this? Literally my sister-in-law and my nephew too. Great. Just gonna hide. All right, we're gonna do the next one. I don't think anybody's gonna have any real questions about a chest press. Do you think you're gonna have a question about a chest press? Okay, the biggest thing about a chest press is gonna be this. Don't fucking pull it like this and don't pull it like this. Pull it 45 degrees, okay? Now, when you're doing it, you want to think about your shoulder blade moving on your rib cage, right? So you'll see me cue different things. Like if I want to bias more expansion, like for the woman, Julie, right? You could inhale as you press. I could press and inhale. There's nothing wrong with that. That's going to get more expansion to the backside and to the chest wall. Okay. Like I can inhale as I press. Like one of those rules, people think you only exhale when you're doing strength training. Well, if you want to loosen up tight muscles, you might actually inhale. Okay. And you'll listen to me cue it. You'll see there are no hard and fast rules. I'm going to let you kind of like explore your own body and be like, oh, what feels good for me? Like, what is it that my body needs? Okay. I'm really not big on the rules. Incline push-up. Okay. So I see everybody has like a bench or they have like an ottoman or something. We're going to do this and we're actually going to inhale at the bottom position. Going to make it even harder. So if I'm doing I'm just trying to find a place where I'm going to do this. We have 2 gyms if you're wondering. All right. So say I'm on this bench. I'm going to take my wrists and shoulders in a line and I'm going to be in that bear position that we were in when we did that bear plank, right? My knees are bent. Don't lock out your knees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull myself down until my nipples touch the bench. And then I'm going to inhale and then exhale, drive it away. Exactly. That shit's hard. This isn't a joke. Pull down, inhale, and exhale, drive it away. Now, if it was too hard, all we're going to do is go from the knees. Oh, I hate when people say, push-ups from the knees are for girls. It's like you can make anything hard when you bias the breathing. Okay. So anybody who has that really big, like ass out posture, I'm going to have you try this variation. Take your feet, drag them up the wall. Okay. Take your wrists underneath your shoulders. I'm going to pull myself down, inhale, and then exhale. I swear to God, this is literally my life. Most of you guys live around here, right? You know. And then like your garage door doesn't shut because people put shit in front of it. Good. So, Gail, what I wouldn't recommend is not having something underneath your knees unless you want
I
to.
know, I'm not in the normal spot I usually am.
So say this, and my feet are dragging up the wall. What does that do? It doesn't let me be like this. Because a lot of you guys are like this. Yeah, look at you, Heather. Good, dragging up the wall. Pull down, inhale, and then exhale. Pull down, inhale, and then exhale. Julie, that's that chest wall expansion and hamstrings. Okay, so Alex, if a regular push-up is really easy for you, do it with your feet against the wall. Knees off, inhale, exhale, right? There's so many different ways that you're biasing your position to make it harder. Good. So Cindy, go give me one more, but look at your pelvis before you start. Same with you, Andrea. If I go like this and push through my hands and I'm dragging my feet up the wall, I don't want to be here because I'm not going to get any low abs. I want to pull and almost tuck a little bit and push through my hands. And now pull down, take an inhale, and then push away. Push through your index finger and your thumb and push all the way through the ground. Okay? When you focus on your breathing, you're getting so much of a better workout in because you're getting your abs. You'll notice like you get sweatier, like you just feel things more. It's a lot better use of your time. Okay? Now we're going to do a dead bug bridge. All that means is you're going to dig your heel into something and we're going to do like a cross connect, which is awesome to get the abs a little bit. So if I go here and I'm on my bench, can you take your opposite elbow towards your opposite knee? So left heel is digging in to your surface. Left elbow is going to reach across towards the opposite knee. Sarah, scoot your butt a little bit closer. If you don't have this range of motion where you can do this with your head on the ground, just put a block between them. I want your head relaxed and I want you just cross connecting across your body and now dig into the bench with your left heel. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Yep. Cindy, grab that yoga block and put it between your elbow and your hand. Good. Do you feel your hamstrings?
Yes.
Do you feel your abs? Good. Christine, lay all the way down on your back. Yep. Scoot your butt a little bit closer and then pull your right knee into your chest and then touch it towards your elbow with your left elbow. Yep. And then put a block between them and then you can do it. I'm watching you, Alex. Pick a leg, pull it in. Good. Try to cross over your body. Good. And then just stay on that side over and over again. Good. I'm pushing my knee towards my elbow to get some abs as I bridge up through my hamstrings. If you didn't know what an evil bitch I was, you now do. Okay? Literally, when I say like efficient, I mean you're going to feel all your muscles the whole time. If you just look at the exercise, you're like, oh, it's so easy. I can totally do it. Probably not the case.
Well, I feel it in my shin.
Okay, because right now you're not digging into your heel. You're kind of pushing through your midfoot. Yep. See the difference?
I feel it in both. I feel it in my shin and my glute there.
Probably because what you're doing is you're pushing onto a surface that's not that like, it's not
Yeah,
that dense, and then you're flexing your foot back a lot. Try to just
Okay.
relax your actual foot and see if that
Okay.
makes sense. But these are all the things. Like Sarah Green does such an awesome job. Like she doesn't get embarrassed when she shares her videos and she fucking just asks the question. That's all you need to do. Because I can't help you if I don't see what you're doing wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I'll share all.
Feel my abs at all.
Who's that?
I do feel my hamstrings, but not my abs.
Okay, so let's watch you do it.
Okay.
Now, were you on the first call where I was kind of talking about this, or in the beginning? You were. So every time that I do an exercise, I want to set my rib cage and my pelvis. Julie's getting a workout in. So take an inhale, take an exhale. Now cross with the exhale. Cross. Now push your knee into your elbow and your elbow into your knee. And now fucking bridge.
Okay, I feel it.
Yeah, I know.
That
right.
makes such a huge difference.
What?
Taking the inhale and the exhale first, and
I'm
then
gonna tell you this
Yeah.
right now. Every single time you do anything, do that. Okay? Because you're wasting your time if you're not doing that. So get a good inhale, get a really good exhale. Okay? That's how your core is gonna work. I don't know how I can say it like more and more and more and more and more. It's like if you are in this position when you start a movement, which a lot of you are, like I don't even know how to do it because I'm so like the opposite, but like I was more like this. But if I'm like this and then I go to do something, all I'm doing is this. I feel nothing here at all, but I need to work to get this stacked one over the other so that my pressure can be managed better and then I can work the muscles that I want to work. Okay, now tricep dips. Now, doesn't mean you have to actually do dips. Like Julie, I'm not going to have her do dips, but this is just another one of those exercises that I can use to bias expansion and improve posture at the same time, right? So if I go like this and I get on my bench and there's gonna be these like hypermobile people in here too. Watch your elbow. So like the ottoman works great. If I go like this and I press my hands into this and then I just walk my butt off the edge, I'm gonna think about shoulders drawing down my back. I feel my abs. Now, where's the air gonna go? The air is gonna go here. This is the best chest wall expander that there ever was, okay? So if I'm here, push into the bench. Sarah Green, walk your feet forward. And then let's just hold here for a couple breaths. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna be like me and you're gonna do this with your elbows. Does that look scary? Because it's fucking scary. Bend your elbows just a little bit. Push, inhale into your chest. Exhale, empty from the bottom. Blow all your air out. Good. Gail, walk your feet forward so that your butt's kind of just like near the bench instead of like going like this. Just try to relax your ass. Yep, but hold yourself up with your arms. Now,
Be closer to the ottoman.
yeah, I don't want you to like arch too much. So if I go like this, I might just hold here as an exercise, or I'm going to do this. Inhale. Look at my shoulder heads. They did not go forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sarah, keep your chest up and don't go so far if your shoulder heads are coming forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Julie, I would literally just hold and breathe and try to practice getting air into your chest. Perfect.
Okay.
Yep. Inhale. And exhale. Alex, get your ass closer to that. Get your butt closer to the bench.
Oh,
Yeah. Now, your butt can be closer to the bench, but your feet could be further away if you wanted to. Yes. Yep. Yep. Now think about inhaling and then exhale, empty from the bottom. Perfect. So just so you know, it's still an actual exercise if you're just holding. Like that crab position is literally my favorite for like getting opening through here. Okay. I think incline chest press, kind of easy. I'm just trying to think about what are the ones that are really going to be like sticky for people. Let's talk about this. It's a mountain climber, but it's on your forearms. That's on the bench. Now, remember how we did the rock back breathing where I was like, oh, you're on your forearms and your palms are reaching towards your face. So this is basically a plank on your forearms. Okay, so my palms are up. This means my shoulder blades are moving on my rib cage. It's not just like fused to my rib cage. So literally, if I just change the position of my hands, there's gonna be air flowing to the backside of my rib cage, right? Okay, so now I'm here. Take a big inhale, take a big exhale, empty from the bottom. Now, inhale, pull your right knee in, and exhale out. Inhale, pull your left knee in. Exhale out. Push through your elbows the whole time. Lift your chin. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Nice. Exhale. Good. Cindy, anytime you do anything like this, put your feet on the wall. This fixes your pelvis. Inhale and exhale. Keep those knees bent. What do you guys feel when you do this?
abs.
Oh my goodness. A resounding abs. Good. Now, everybody, Knees bent just a little bit. That's going to be a habit that's going to come into play like with the warm-ups and stuff. But the more you can bend your knees, the better off you're going to feel everything. Okay. Let's move along. We haven't even really touched the fucking weight. This is great. All right. Now, power clean. Oh, actually, just kidding. We're going to go over the hinge because this is the one that like, if your rib cage angle is narrow, which basically everyone's in here is, you have an externally rotated pelvis. Not like you even care what that means, but basically you have the ability to externally rotate better than internally rotate. And a deadlift is internal rotation. So a lot of us will just round through our lumbar spine to do a hinge. Okay. And then deadlifting will just feel like fucking trash. So you're going to be at the wall again. And this is going to be your favorite exercise of all time. I know it. And guess what? It's not going anywhere. So you can't hate it. Just like we did with the wall split squat, you're going to have your foot in front and then your right leg back. So I'm in a kickstand position. I'm not as long as I would be if I was doing an actual lunge. Okay. So I literally would be in like a kickstand hinge position, but I'm going to use the wall as reference. And I'm going to move around a bunch of times so you can see all the angles. Now, left foot forward, right leg back. Bend this left knee. Is my left leg in front of my right leg? It should be, okay?
Oh, man.
Bent, but not bent enough that it turns into a split squat. It's gonna be a hinge. So what's a hinge? A hinge is moving your butt back, okay? So I want you to think about this. I have myself set, my back foot's kind of pushing me over to the left. Now, hold on to your rib cage underneath your boots, and then just push your ass back like you're slamming shut a door. Now take your left hand and reach down towards the floor, but don't round through your low back and keep your knee bent. Good. Now take an inhale and take an exhale and then stand up. Now take an inhale and take an exhale and then just go right back down the same way, but exhale all your air out. Alex, reach with your right arm. If your left leg's down, I want you to reach with your right arm. Good. And then I want you to practice that. Exhale, empty from the bottom. Inhale, up. Exhale, empty from the bottom. Inhale, up. So if my left leg is forward, my right hand is reaching down. If my left leg is forward, my left knee is bent. Good. Alex, take your right hand and reach it towards your left knee. Right hand, right hand. Yes.
Oh yeah, there we go.
You got it.
There it is.
Good. Cindy, what leg is forward? Left? Okay, now keep it bent a little bit. Good. So there's a balance between where's my weight on my foot, my knee being bent, and my butt being back. But my butt can't just like stay in the same place. It's going to reach back as I go back, and it's going to come forward as I come up. Bend your knee more. Bend your knee. Yes. Now, are you over that left leg is my question. Do you feel your butt? Okay. All right. Now, I want you to try it with a weight. Okay, because I want you guys to actually feel this and get this one down because this is the one that we're gonna like build upon. So it doesn't need to be the heaviest weight ever. I wouldn't go heavier than like 25 pounds right now. So if I have my right foot forward and my left leg back, I just want to make sure. Do you guys see me good? Say I'm here, right foot forward.
Yes.
Left leg back. I'm gonna have the weight in my left hand because I'm gonna rotate over to the right, and I'm gonna exhale. So my knee stays bent, my butt stays back. Notice how there's no rounding through my low back. And then I'm gonna come up, nice and slow. Exhale down. Inhale up. Stay over that mid foot. Good. Yep, and you just wanna watch that you're not rounding through the low back at all. Heather, get way narrower in your stance, like back your right leg up a little bit more. Christine, this is awesome. Good. Yep. Bend your knee a little bit to start so your whole foot's there. Sarah, control your pelvis a little bit because you're just like letting your ass hang out backwards and you're not bending in your right knee enough. Good. Much better, Heather. Sarah, put your right hand across underneath your ribs again so you stop doing that thing. Put it underneath your left rib too. Does anybody not feel their glute and hamstring on the working leg?
I have a question.
Okay.
Should I squeeze my butt tight when I'm coming up?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. So here's the
Alright,
thing. A muscle must lengthen in order to contract. Okay. There's no you don't need to squeeze things. Like I was like a big kettlebell person in my 20s and it was always about like squeezing. That was literally the worst thing that I could ever do. Okay. Like I'd be like, punch me in the ass. Like when I'd go out to like the bar, like that's like what I would do. Be like, oh, my ass is so tight. It literally was like the worst thing ever. Okay. So relax, like lengthen.
So Stacey, should you feel it in like the outside of your butt?
Like glute med, you mean?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Glute max and glute med. So this is interesting. Do you ever watch the live classes at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's like a new like column of like 2022 versus 2021. Okay, so we talk a lot about like in split squats and lunges and deadlifts. We're asymmetrical. As human beings, we're asymmetrical, right? That's why like some of you guys were like, oh, like my right side was so much worse. My left side was so much worse, right? You need to learn your own body and be like, which side do I have less internal rotation on? Which side do I turn my toes out a little bit more? Because you might need to develop a different strategy to get a different muscle on. Does that make sense? So like, were you talking about your left side or your right side?
When my right foot is forward.
Okay, so when your right foot is forward, to get a glute max, you might actually need to push your knee out a little bit.
Like out front?
General, like no, not forward, but like out to the right. So like in the beginning,
to the right.
remember we're in the sideline breathing position, and I'll be like, okay, reach your knee forward and then pull it out to the side. That's glute max. That is definitely the hardest muscle on the body for most people to feel, to push yourself over to your left. Now, on the left side, I would never say to push your knee out because you probably need more internal rotation on that left-hand side. So like with you, if you just stay over your midfoot better, rotate over to the right. Do you see how she's going into more of like a split squat right now? She's dropping too low. I don't want you to drop as low. I want you to be more in a hinge. So walk your right foot back a little bit. Yep. Now rotate over your right side. Yes. Keep your knee nice and bent. Exhale and go slow. Exhale and go slow down. Okay. Stop bending your knee more as you go down though.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense? So think of it as more like an RDL in your mind. Exactly. Now you could maintain tension with your big toe on the ground, but drive your knee out a little bit. This is just because she's asking a question because she was feeling the outside of her glute a little bit more. Your feet, your knees, your hips, in order to get like the muscles that you want, sometimes it is a little bit complicated. You're still going to get a great workout if you're not doing that, but ask the question because I most definitely have the answer.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Let's do one more. If you're in a, like some of you guys have benches that adjust, you don't need one. We're going to do an incline chest press, but it's in a short seated position. I utilize this a lot because for a long time, I couldn't fucking do shit without my back killing me. But a short seated position is like more in a tucked under position so that you cannot use your back to get stuff done. So basically what I'm going to do is sit down, feet on the ground, right? I'm going to think if my arms were reaching forward, I almost sit back onto like my tailbone almost. I'm going to take an inhale. Take an exhale. So I get my abs on. If I touch my stomach, my obliques are really on. And then I'm going to grab onto a weight and I'm going to press it overhead. So I'm going to go here, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now I could use one weight. I could use two weights. If I hold one, I'm going to hold it the long way. If I hold two, I'm just going to hold one in each hand. I'm going to show you both.
And should you feel like you're going more straight up than out?
Yes.
With the weight?
So incline, I would say if I was laying on my back, like this is just a regular chest press, and then this is a shoulder press, and then this is an incline press. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so if I'm here, I'm literally just reaching up and pulling down without flaring through my ribs, right? Now, this is another one that you could inhale up for expansion or exhale up for strength. Good. Kelly, imagine I was there, kind of pushing this part of your rib cage back just a little bit more. Yes, yes. Now, get that good exhale before you start the movement. Does anybody not feel their abs? You should feel your abs a little bit.
Mine's the top of my thigh.
Okay, so nope, I'm glad you said that. So what I want you to do is sit onto something. It just means that because you're so far forward, your hip flexors are a little bit tight.
That's you said sit on something?
Yeah, so elevate your
your
hips
butt?
on something
Okay.
higher, so then you won't be in that position. Cindy, think about pulling your heels back in your mind to get your hamstrings on a little bit, because you're in that position that they're in too, and you might feel your hip flexors a little bit. Same with you, Julie. Good. Good. Now inhale, exhale. Perfect. Can you feel a little abs though, Gail?
Yeah.
Now? Good. Good. Leah, reach up towards the ceiling just a little bit more. Christine, do you feel your abs or do you feel your quads too?
I feel it all.
Yeah, buddy.
I feel low back.
Okay. So again, it's fine. Not a big deal. Like, this is what's going to happen. And then you're going to evaluate what's happening, right? So I can't see where your butt is, but if your pelvis is dumping forward and you're not actually getting the stack, like that is what's going to happen, right? So
Okay.
I play around with it. Like, okay, these are my sit bones, like here. If I rock myself back a little bit, I can't do this, right? I need to do this. Now, inhale, bend your knees more, pull on your hamstrings a little bit, take a breath, inhale, and then exhale. Empty from the bottom, blow all the air out.
Oh, it's my thighs.
Still feel your back now.
Yes.
So don't lean back as far.
Okay.
That movement went right into my abs too,
Yeah.
what you just demonstrated.
I think it's more your ribs, because as you go to like sit up tall, right? And that's fine too. But like sometimes I'll do this. Do you have like a medicine ball, stability ball, like anything?
In front of me.
Circular ball over there. It looks like a slam ball or something.
Yeah.
Good. So push it backwards, kind of like near the wall. Let's see if we
Okay.
can do anything. Good. Now scoot your ass back towards it a little bit. You just need a little bit more support, right? So like I would have people do this on an incline. You know what I mean? You need to know where you're.
Oh, that feels a lot better. Okay.
Okay.
And I feel my abs now.
Yes. So literally,
Okay.
the people that I attract, because I'll always like talk about like on social media, like if I could do fucking Peloton workouts and feel great, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't have this job, but that wasn't what my body like gave me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I just, whatever, I fucked myself up. Like I can't do like a normal like kick-ass workout and feel good in my body anymore. You know what I mean? So
I do.
exactly. And so those are like the people that I attract, right? It's like you need to be able to like want to do the work to like ask the question, and then I guarantee I'll have an answer for you. You know what I mean? Because I've probably like fucked it up in some way, shape, or form, and then been like, oh, this is how you fix it. There is another one that actually I wanted to talk through real quick, and then we can wrap it up. But I have like a chest supported row on there. And so I see some of you guys have benches. You can literally put a bench on top of like a chair, or some of you guys do have like an incline bench. But for some of you, I have a foam roller, like a long foam roller that I'll put in the center of my chest. Like I'll look at some workouts that are on the internet and I'll just be like, holy fuck, like how could a like normal person ever do this and like not feel it in their back, right? I'm just trying to give you options that like change up your workout a little bit and like allow you to feel your abs while you're strength training, so you're not like in pain, you know? If I take this foam roller and I sort of like impale myself through my sternum, then just don't put all your weight on it because you will fucking snap it. I'm gonna do a row that I'm gonna feel my back on, okay? So I'm gonna do this. I literally take this, I put it right here, and then I have my sternum right here. I'm not laying on the roller. I'm just using this as a point of reference to like, where is my rib cage and my pelvis, right? And then I just row with my back. I just row with my back. Pull.
So it should be like in between your boobs?
I literally just like put it right in between my boobs. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Now, it's going to give you just a little bit of feedback in your brain. Where am I in space? So let me see. Andrea, lower it so it's not so much on your chest, like literally put it right in between your boobs. Yeah. So Christine, when you pick it up, put the weights in your hand before you put the thing there on your chest. Yeah, Julie. Good.
I don't have one.
You're fine. So what? I'll show you another version. If I have a weight in my hand and I go to the wall, good. Now, what's your pelvis doing, Andrea? Because you just want to pay attention to that. Kelly, these look great. If I go like this, Gail, and I put my hand on the wall, I'm gonna get a stretch through my lat. Yep. And I know you're gonna get a heavier weight than that.
Oh yeah, they're buried.
I'm just kidding.
I thought we were just talking about the exercises today. I wish I was more prepared and was actually do the exercises.
Sorry. Well, I am thankful that you can.
I have to say, I love how this hang here in my back.
Exactly. So I wrote a little note today, I think in the Facebook group that was like, if you don't have a fucking TRX, get one.
You did, yeah. It's so
Because
awesome.
listen,
It feels so good.
hanging, like grip, whatever. I was doing it like at the playground and some like annoying kid like came and walked in front of my kids and I was just annoyed. But anyways, hanging is so good for the back of your rib cage and like for breathing. Like, so a chin up bar, TRX, just like hanging there and breathing is so awesome. And Julie was just basically saying that when she was like by the foam roller. I don't know, was that helpful?
Can you show the TRX really quick, like what you mean by hanging?
So basically, mine are just rings, not a TRX, but I'm actually going to show it for a couple of minutes. So obviously you want to have a balanced strength training program, right? You want to have upper body pull, lower body push, like all the components, right? And so people have weights, but like a one arm row, there's only so many fucking variations of a one arm row you can do in a year and like continue to get better. Do you know what I mean? So like that bench over row that we just did is one of them. I don't expect everybody to be able to do a chin up, but I have 85-year-old clients and they can freaking hang from this. I like make my mom do it. Okay. So if I go like this and I'm hanging, look at my stack. Like I'm in a good stack position, right? A lot of times when people do chin ups, they're like this. Okay. So literally I'm just hanging down. And now my shoulder blades can move on my rib cage. I can initiate my muscles. I can use my legs to help me, right? Here and here, here and here. This is way harder than just a body row, right? So this, look, I'm in this nice position. Rib cage and pelvis are stacked. I'm not gonna feel my back. I am not gonna like annoy my diastasis, right? If I have like a midget pull up bar, if I go like this and I go to do a chin up, I'm much more likely to break apart, right? And blow air out through the front. But if I have a thick fan, I can actually pull my knees into my chest and then pull from there. That is actually an even better way to do it, right? So like, I'll progress you guys through the months, but it's always thinking about the stack. It's just like a different way of thinking about it. So you don't have like a pelvic floor issue, a low back issue, a diastasis, hernia, things like that, you know? I'm like, well, I hope it was helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
Right, so every month we meet like this and answer questions. And then obviously like I have those live classes if you ever really wanted me to like look at you, but this is like how I like to coach. Like I do want you guys to understand how to do the exercises to the best of your like body's ability to be able to ask me questions. Like I love helping people.
Well, thank you. Very
You're
helpful.
welcome. Happy Sunday.
Thanks, Stacey. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.